Yes, we started with the line stretching. The two options for the companies, that is line stretching and line filling. In the previous session, I think we discussed the downstretch market. So when the company thinks of stretching the line, it has option of downstretch market, upstretch market, and both way stretching the markets. Now, any doubts up till here? The downstretch market is coming down from the existing position. That is, if the companies are just catering to the premium customers, they are into manufacturing of luxurious goods, they step down into the mid segment or to the lower segment. Now here the reason we saw is strong growth opportunities, penetrate into the market. If they want to penetrate into the market and gain the market share, they will have to expand the product portfolio. Again, there is a threat from the lower end competitor. Instead of lower end competitors moving upwards, it's better that those who are at the premium segment, they come down. And many a times the middle market is stagnating. Once they reach the saturation point, the particular critical point where the companies start feeling that this is the maximum limit of stretch for the premium market, beyond which they cannot think of expansion or expanding in terms of market share. So they think of coming with the new product and tap the opportunities at the mid segment and the lower segment. Now this is about the down stretch market. We'll move ahead with the next part, that is upstretch market. Now initially those products, those items, those goods which are at the lower end, they want to capture the premium segment. They want to push themselves into the luxurious category. They want to tap those customers, and that's why the company thinks of expansion into this premium segment. Here also they want more growth. They feel that there is growth opportunities, more profits in the premium segment. Of course, when the pricing is very high, there is a possibility of achieving more profits, the revenues. But here, the companies, when they are going to the upstretch market, they should see that there should not be brand dilution. And that's why the companies always launch a new brand when they are stretching upwards or when they are stretching downwards. Anyways, they think of coming up with the new brand. Now, what is the reason for this? Because there is a threat of brand dilution. Suppose a company is in the premium segment, it wants to come down. So the customers who are in the premium segment, they should not feel that the same product is being offered to the even lower segment. So here the problem with respect to their status symbol should not be a question. Similarly, for the upstretch market, those players or those companies who are into medium segment or lower segment, when they are thinking of positioning a particular product or a good in the premium segment, they should not feel that the customers, they should not feel that whatever was there for the lower segment is being offered to the premium segment. So that's why companies always think that there should be different brand name, and the brand name signifies the price of the product, isn't it? Now here, if you take an example of upstretch market, as far as Philips company is considered, stereo music players, initially the price was between 1000 to 2000 price range. They opted for a premium segment, that is a top segment, with the powerhouse range where it costed in between 6 to 9000 for the middle market, and power play range for the which range from 15,000 to 25,000, a much higher range, very premium segment. So here different brand names signify the pricing as well as it also is a reflection of the customer's portfolio also, affordability I mean here. Now this for Philips, it proved to emerge as a major market player with these strategies. With the new entrants, started competing with the new entrants like Aiwa, Sony, Akai, who entered the market. Philips was a new brand in India, and all these entered afterwards. Similarly, if we see Toyota, it went for a upstretch market by new higher end brand Lexus. If you see a HUL company, uh, which is into the soaps category, if you take an example of a soap, they introduce a premium soap, Dove, which has a very niche segment. Okay, it caters to the very niche segment, that is premium segment with a more pricing. Similarly, Nissan introduced Infinity, Honda introduced Acura. So here the companies are always experimenting when they are thinking of bringing in a new product under the umbrella of the brand or under the umbrella of the company. They should think from the customer's point of view, and positioning becomes much more important. So here we have studied in the previous semester the STP approach, that is segmentation, targeting, and positioning, isn't it? So here, while considering these strategies, that part is looked upon. The demographic features, the psychological factors of the customers are linked while positioning the product. If the company wants to undertake any of these strategies, these are the strategies with reference to product portfolio management. For this product line, detailed analysis has to be carried out. Now the next is the two-way stretch, where the company is in the mid segment and wants to expand in both the ways. That is, it wants to move with the premium segment, move to premium segment, as well as move to the lower segment. Both ways it wants to acquire the market share. So here full market coverage strategy is used by the company. It doesn't want to be left out. Now here again, while positioning these goods or items, it again creates a new brand name and concentrate on value added products. Value added means when the companies think of increasing the price, the customer will expect that there should be some benefits, value in terms of benefits attached to it. If you take an example of a higher, if we consider in case of refrigerators, the middle range it is priced in between 20 to 25,000. The lower end is ranges from 8,000, in between 8,000, and the higher end 97,990. See the huge difference. Similarly, if you take LG from 6,000 to 1,55,000, that much is the huge difference. So here they cater to the lower category as well as the premium segment or the upper segment here. This is what it means. Now basically when the companies think of upstretch market, they want to position themselves as a full line manufacturers, and that's why they take this into account. Now here the Marriott Hotel Group thought of this strategy. It has performed a two-way stretch of its hotel product line. Marriott is it's a group of hotels. Alongside its medium-priced hotels, it added the Marriott Marquis line to serve upper end of the market, the Courtyard line to serve a lower end of the market, and the Farmfield Inns to serve the economy end of the market. So each branded hotel line is aimed at different target market. Even if you take into consideration that Taj Hotel, they also come up with the same strategies. Now, here major risk with these strategies is that maybe some travelers will trade down after finding the lower price hotels in the Marriott chain, which have the pretty much everything they want. So here, uh, basic thing is there should be proper differentiation. If it is the brand extension, in that case, the customer should be able to differentiate between these two brands. And this is a job of a service provider or manufacturer. They should emphasize on the price as well as the benefits. If they emphasize only on the price, so it would be just the reflection of price. But when you are reflecting the price, when the manufacturer is reflecting the price, along with that, the added value or the benefits or the quality should be added to that particular good or a item or a offering from the manufacturer side. Now the next part, the first part was of line stretching, and the second part was line filling. These are the decisions with reference to product line length. Second thing is line filling. Now, when the firm introduces more items to its existing line to fill the gaps in its current portfolio, it's known as line filling. Now, here the line filling is done by the company when it offers a group of products that are closely related to each other. So when they are closely related or associated, then only the company thinks of line filling. It exists, the product line, and you are just filling the gaps. Maybe with their nature, features, attributes, and functionalities, they are similar to one another, but there is some difference. And even the price range and marketing and promotional strategies are similar in nature. The overall approach lies on the same lines, but there is a thin line of differentiation. Now, this line filling is much more applicable to the FMCG companies, that is fast moving consumer goods companies. Now, here there are basic motives why a company thinks of undertaking this line filling. It wants to fill the gap and reach the untapped customers. Now, this untapped customers will give the incremental revenues or profits to the company. The dealers, many a times, they are complained. The dealers are complained about the company. They get the feedback about the lost sales. The dealers, they complain to the companies about the lost sales because of some missing items in the line. So that's why, from dealers' point of view, these Complaints are received as a feedback to the salesperson, and from the salesperson to the company. And the company thinks of placing the product, positioning the product. Similarly, when the organization has excess production capacity, in that case, the company thinks of including more of the offerings or more of the products they add to the product line. Here, there is also one more concept for the company, that it doesn't want to uh, keep the things left out. That is, in the bundle of items, the customer should not go empty handed. Once the customer comes to the dealer, okay, asking for a particular product, the company should fulfill the need of the customer. So when the company thinks of having a full line company, then it takes into consideration this line filling option. Even when they want to keep out the competitors, the company thinks of this line filling option. Everywhere, if the gaps are filled, it will be difficult for the competitor to enter with the differentiation strategy. Many a times, this line filling, okay, it results in self cannibalization. Self cannibalization means if the customers are not able to make out the difference in the product when you go for line filling, okay, if the customer gets confused, then there is a problem. If the brands of the single line they start competing among each other, then there is a problem for the company. If there is no particular differentiation made, so the company should take effort to differentiate each of its items in the product line and see to it that it positions itself in the consumer's mind in a that way. Each item should possess just a noticeable difference. A minute difference should be there, which could be observed by the customers, or rather, the company should make this realized to the customers, this minute difference. Now, the customers are more attuned to relative than to absolute difference. So, the company should make sure that the new product items have a noticeable difference. Also, when the company thinks of including the product, it should check that the proposed item meets the market need, and it should not be simply added to the portfolio just to satisfy because the company feels that there is some gap and it is introducing the product. That should not happen. Now here there are certain factors which needs to be taken into consideration. The first is the length of the product line. What should be the length? How much should be the products in a single line? There should be some limits. Now here I had given you an example of biscuits. Now when we see line filling, as I said, it does not work much in the higher end products. Like automobiles, you will not much of the line filling. But against this, if you take the FMCG categories, you think of toothpastes. Okay, there is one example of toothpaste. Just have a look. Colgate Dental Cream, Colgate Gel, Colgate CalciGuard, Colgate Total, Colgate Sensitive, Colgate Herbal. So there are so much of Colgate with some different aspect or attribute included. So just now I was saying that Colgate Dental Cream, Colgate Gel, there should be some difference in between this. Colgate CalciGuard and Colgate Total. some noticeable difference should be there. It should not happen. These brands of Colgate are fighting themselves to gain the market share. That should not be the case. So the length of the product line, how much it should be, it depends upon the company. Each and every product should specify and satisfy the need of the customers. Then only there is a meaning in introducing the products. Second thing, innovation. Now, line filling needs to have the elements of innovation and novelty. Novelty means something new should be there, and innovation, that is, new ideas should be there. It should not happen, it is just the copy of the same product. So, the customers, from customers' point of view, they should be satisfied here. Financial capacity of the firm should have that much financial capacity to absorb the introduction of this new product in the product line. It should not be overburden on the company financially, because when you think of new items or good introduced, again the finances are locked there. Companies should also check on the competition. Who are the competitors? Rather, there are how many competitors, whether they are much away from us or they are very close, whether it's a cutthroat close competition, or whether maybe you enjoy the monopoly position to certain extent. So that should be checked by the organization, by the companies. Availability of resources is one of the very important factor. If you are thinking of introducing a new product, in that case, whether the resources are that much sufficient and whether it is beneficial to accommodate in the existing scenario of the company with respect to resources is to be looked upon. So these were some of the factors which the organization has to take into consideration while taking up the strategy of line filling. Maruti Suzuki has launched Alto in 2000, which was a product between two models, Maruti 800 and Maruti Zen. Similarly, if you see Samsung smartphones, they cover almost all price brackets and display screen size. For example, Galaxy smartphone, which is the flagship series of Samsung, has around 40 smartphone models covering different price brackets for different screen sizes. In the US market alone, leave about the entire world. It operates globally. So according to the need, demand, and affordability, since it's a global company, uh, it changes its strategies. As the global base changes, it thinks of changing the models by opting to the local needs. Now, this not only helps Samsung make smartphones they affordable, but also increase the customer base globally. So, when the companies have more offerings with the differentiable strategies to offer, naturally the customer base is going to increase, the market share is going to increase, which will add to more revenues. But to enter into the global market, to cater to the needs of the customers, the company should be financially that much strong. They should have that much resources to cater to the need of the customers. Now, the next part is the line modernization. A strategy in which the items in a product line are modified to suit modern styling and taste and relaunched. Now, here, when we were studying the PLC, product life cycle, okay, in the previous semester we had studied PLC, product life cycle. So here, when any of the product, okay, there were four stages if you remember. First was introduction, then growth, then maturity, and then decline. Okay, so when any of these products start moving from the growth stage to the maturity stage, or from the maturity stage to the decline stage, specifically when they start uh, entering into the maturity stage, or from maturity to decline, the companies take up the strategy of line modernization. They start renovations. They think of changing the product, maybe through technology, through feature, through looks, through the style, any of the strategies they will use, and they will uh, have a makeover of the product. They will think of redesigning the offering. This is a continuous process because every now and then the requirements of the customers are changing. That is the one reason. Second thing is more addition of competitors is there. The company cannot think of offering the same product to the customers. They always want to upgrade the product with reference to all the attributes. So here, if you take into consideration the technology, with the new technology, they make the changes. Now here, technology is possible only with reference to where it plays a role, like electronic goods, televisions, smartphones, automobile, two-wheelers, four-wheelers, your water filters. Where innovation plays a role and technology plays a role, there only it is possible. Features with reference to technology driven products as well as other products also. Improved features. Looks, maybe you make some changes in color, in the size, in the shape. Style, totally new. Renovation. So here when we think of introducing a flanker products, it comes. Now when these line modernization, the products come into the market or relaunched, okay, usually they come with a prefix. There is some prefix. There are many items which come with the prefix like super, isn't it? Super power, super, fresh, new. Like this, adjectives, they come with some adjectives. It shows that the product has a different package. Here, even they change the brand ambassadors when the company thinks of brushing up the product and launching it again. They think of changing the brand ambassador so that the product should go with the modern era. If you see the Lux brand, okay, to give an example, Lux brand they have relaunched many a times, and every time when they launch, you see the celebrities different. They have even been successful in changing the gender also there. If you see previously, all the four of them they are ladies, and then Shah Rukh Khan entered. Okay, so here even they challenge this also. So Lux has penetrated into the market with different flanker products. These celebrity endorsements help the product in relaunching and penetrating into the market. Now here, there's one more example from this five-star crunchy pork glucose or choco eclair, which had a competition from Kit Kat. Okay, entered in a new packet. When there is a cutthroat competition, then also the companies think of modernizing the original offering. So here this is applicable, as I said, to the white goods, that is electronic goods and automobile sector. This is about the line modernization. Now, the next strategy is line pruning strategy. When the company may feel it necessary to withdraw some brands. Now, this line pruning is opposite of line filling or line modernization. So many a times that company feel that there is some problem with a variant, a brand, or a pack size from the product line and serve the market with a pruned or better organized line, then it thinks of dropping that product. The act of reducing the depth of a product line by deleting less profitable offering in a particular product category. Suppose if the company feels that uh, some of its products are not working or these offerings are not playing a major role in gaining the revenues or profits, in that case, company thinks of liquidization to stop that product, to stop it totally. So that's why the product lines, this product line, individual product line manager needs to be uh, careful in reviewing periodically this product lines for pruning or dropping from the markets. Many of them they think of dropping. Now here, why the company thinks of this? As I said, there would be depressed profits. Like they think that they have reached the saturation stage now, and further they cannot enter into the market, and that's why they think of curbing the offering. Or many a times the company engages into too many products so that the company falls short of production capacity, and then the company starts feeling that they should only concentrate on few products which are giving the revenues or where the higher revenues are gained. Only those products must be concentrated while the others should be dropped. During that time, the company thinks of line pruning strategy. Many a times the company finds one end of its line selling very well while the other end is performing very poorly. Now here the company, though it tries to boost demand for the slow sellers, especially if they are produced in a factory that is idle by lack of demand, then there is a problem. It's better you stop the concentration on the weak products and concentrate more on the high margin products. This is about the line pruning. Now here, this is one example. If you see Cadbury's, okay, they are very famous as far as this Cadbury chocolates are considered. But even a company like this went for line pruning because these products they uh, could not gain market share and audience attendance, the customers' preference. They could not gain much of the customer preference, and the company thought of dropping them. Now, the next part is with reference to product line analysis. Now, it's the responsibility, as I said, that each product line serves as a strategic business unit. So, it's a responsibility of managers to analyze the product line. Product line managers need to know the sales and profits of each item in their line in order to determine which items to build, maintain, harvest, or divest. They also need to understand each product's market profile, how much share they are gaining. So, analyzing the relationships between the product items and their attributes is of prominence. Whether they are going hand in hand, the attributes and the items. Okay, with what intention the company had launched, whether the customer perceives from the same point of view. Now, the basic platform to meet different requirements and lower the production costs. Now, if they are in consistency, the production costs are at lower side. But if they are inconsistent, diverse, then the production cost is going to increase. So whether the company is in a position to bear these costs, that should be analyzed by these managers. Analyze problems associated with the product, causes and action taken. Now here, if you think of modernization, the company thinks of pruning. Okay. So here they should take into consideration the problems associated with these strategies, and then take the decisions about the strategies. What are the causes? Why a product is not performing well? Whether there is entry of the competitors, whether the dealers are getting more margins from the competitor. That's why there is poor performance of the company's product, a particular brand. So according to these analysis, the action should be taken. The company cannot take any decision unless and until it analyzes the situation. Just a minute. So here the companies, basically those who think of having more market share and more growth potential, they think of having longer product line because they want to cater to the entire market. The more longer the product lines, more will be the share market, which is but obvious. Now here, if the company is just looking out for the revenues, for the profitability index, only profitability, then many companies, they choose just shorter lines and concentrate on those offerings and try to build a profit margins, gains higher margins by satisfying few customers and offering them the products they need. Now these companies, they build the brands. This is about the product line analysis. Now any doubts up till here?
No,
Hello.
ma'am.
Now here we sum up with this. Okay, as far as the product is considered, its product line decisions are considered, what all we have seen. This is the concluding part of the first chapter. Okay, so what is a product? Role of a product as an offering. We studied from tangibility to intangibility, how it differs. Okay, from one end to the other end. Now here, why this is important? Because there are different strategies. Totally the for the service. Okay, a different mix is there. Then classification of the consumer products. Why we studied this? Because here also, with reference to different product categories, their strategies differ, their customers differ, their positioning differs, and that's why this part has been included. Product hierarchy, we have seen the levels, we have seen from the customer point of view. Product mix, what it is, and this is true for all the companies. Okay, any company you take, they have different products, they have their own product mix. What is the four dimensions of the product mix? Width, length, depth, consistency. four of the components of these dimensions we have seen. Coming to the decision parts or strategies part, we have seen line stretching and line filling. Line stretching, in that we have seen downstretch market, upstretch market, and two-way stretch. Line filling, today we discussed line modernization and line pruning. So all these strategies from the point of view of our product we have seen. Now, if you see, this is a popular product line of the PepsiCo company. It is into foods and beverages. Basically, it started from the beverage, okay, and then slowly increase the product line. See the product line. If you see Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, okay, here it went ahead with the joint ventures, with the acquisitions, with the other companies. Okay, basically, it started with the beverages and slowly and steadily it entered into other options like Tropicana. Tropicana is a brand for which product? Hello, Tropicana. It's a fruit juice, no?
Yes, ma'am. It's a
Yeah,
fruit
but
juice.
see, and what about Pepsi?
Ma'am, Pepsi is a cold drink.
Hello. So, from the customer's point of view, okay, initially Pepsi came up with the Pepsi only, these things, and then shifted to Tropicana, that is the fruit juices. What is the reason? And then to Aquafina. Aquafina is it's a brand for packaged water bottle. Okay. What is the reason? Pepsi felt that the customers who would be preferring this Diet Pepsi or Mountain Dew may not be the customers for the fruit juices or water, packaged water. So that's why it found the gap. It wanted to come up with some healthy options. To jump to the healthy option is a Tropicana. Lipton, the brand Lipton signifies
Ma'am, it's a green tea.
iced tea. Okay, it's famous for iced tea. So here, Pepsi went into a joint venture with Unilever to come up with this product, iced tea. Starbucks. Starbucks is famous brand for, it's famous for beverages, is famous for coffee, isn't it? So just think, it is into the soft drinks, it is into tea, it is into coffee, it is into fruit juices. So it's filling the segments, isn't it? So this is an example of the filling or diversifying. It wants to acquire the customers from all of the segments. If you see the last one, Quaker. Quaker is a oats, isn't it? Into food.
Yes, ma'am.
Cheetos, Fritos, what it is? Frito-Lays, Cheetos, all are, they are into snacks category. Doritos, they are nachos, isn't it? So here, it moved from this soft drink to the other areas and tried to acquire the customers, or we can say the market share. Maybe in some companies it entered into the joint ventures, maybe in some companies it went for acquisition. So whatever are the entry strategies, modus operandi, they tried everything and they are now into the global market. This is one of the example which I felt. There are many other companies which are uh, on the global platforms. Now, if you take an example of Nike product lines, now why I'm giving you the difference between these two categories, okay? Here it is basically well known for the shoes, isn't it? Lifestyle running, basketball, Jordan training, so all sort of sports shoes. Okay, it initially started with the sports shoes and entered into clothings with the segmentation in on the basis of gender and age. That is for gender for male and female as well as the kids category. Now here, many of you, maybe if you have observed why the company thought of entering into these categories, any idea? Clothing for the kids section also, clothing and shoes. So here, I spoke about channel of distribution. So both of the offerings can be clubbed and offered under a single roof, under a single umbrella. Many a times when you visit the stores, you may find both of the products. If you are a sports person, you are looking out for shoes, you will find also clothing, isn't it? So here the companies think of consistency usually when they are entering into the market. So this is one company which thought of distribution channel, and against this it's a giant PepsiCo company, which has, uh, you know, there is no consistency as such. Though the products they may go, if you say at the one end it's a soft drink like Pepsi, at the other one it's a fruit juice or a Quaker oats, which are very much healthy. So here, basically, the company is thinking of acquiring the market or the market share by offering different category of products to the customers. So today we will stop here. In the next session, we will move ahead. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Then we will stop here today.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.